Trigger mastery. We're going to show you a cool trick today on how to master your trigger. There's different stages of your trigger. There's slack, the wall, there's follow through, and trigger reset. We're going to show you how to do all those, and I'm going to show you a unique way I touch the trigger. It's a little different than how most people do it. I am your host, Daniel Valencia, and during these times it's harder to get to the range as often as we want, so we're going to put out good content, good information. I know there's a lot of new gun owners out there and a lot of new shooters, and we're going to show you and welcome you to the community safely and give you some cool tips and tricks. We've also designed a really cool Facebook group for everyone. It's called Neoteric Arms. If you join the group, that's where you can add pictures, upload videos. The group is really designed for you, for new shooters, or just kind of like a forum base. There's no bad questions. Put up a picture, a video, ask us anything you want. We'll do our best with our knowledge to answer any question you have. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find the answer. If you need a multi-state CCW, we've designed a training program and got it endorsed by Virginia State Police. Virginia offers a non-resident permit, which means you don't have to live there to get it, and it's good for 70% of the country. The link's below if you're interested. We also make really cool holsters. Our holsters are appendix rigs mostly, has your mag caddy. The gun sits higher off your belt, so it's easy to get to and doesn't pinch you when you sit down. Has your anti-prick wing. The clips are also tuckable. And we also started doing a pancake style holster. A lot of requests for this one. Goes outside your waistband, tucks in real nice and tight. Good 2 washers for retention. Okay, let's get into our topic, trigger mastery. Before we get into the guns, I know there's a lot of new shooters out there, a lot of new gun owners. We want to welcome you to the community safely and really just welcome. So before we get into it, we're going to breeze through the 5 rules that pretty much everyone follows. Rule 1, treat every weapon as if it were loaded, even if it's not. Rule 2, don't point the weapon at something you do not intend to shoot or destroy. Rule 3, keep your fingers straight along the receiver until ready to fire. Not here, not monkey gripping it, up here. Nice and high, up along the receiver, over the trigger guard. Keep your fingers straight, ready to fire. Rule 4, if the gun has a safety, put the safety on until ready to fire. And the last one is know your target when it's beyond your target. Understand bullets go through people and walls. Okay, let's clear and safe these, make sure they're clear and safe. So how do you clear and safe a gun? For those new shooters, you check the chamber twice. So you look at the chamber, and you say chamber, magazine, chamber. This one's clear and safe. I've done this to all these guns, so I know they're safe, but that's how you do it. Every time you put the gun in the safe, take the gun out of the safe, you walk out of the room, back in the room, you gotta re-clear your gun. It's not cleared until you've personally checked it. Even if your buddy hands you a gun, it's not clear, and he says it's unloaded, you need to check for yourself. It's just, everyone in the gun industry and gun community understands that. It's just common knowledge to this industry. It's not clear and safe until you check for yourself. These guns are clear and safe. There's no ammunition in this room. When you have a gun and you're going through training and you're taking it apart and you're doing things, you don't want to have any ammunition in the same room that you're handling the gun. Okay, so this gun's clear and safe. Let's talk about the trigger. There are several stages. This is known as slack. Past slack is the wall. Right where it gets tough is the wall. Breaking the wall is actually firing the gun. So that's breaking the wall. And now that the wall is broken, you'll need to reset it, bring the finger up until you hear the click, bring up slack, and pause on the wall, and that's it. So let's get into each stage. So here's slack. What you want to do is when you're coming on target and you're aiming down your sights, you take up slack, hold slack, you're holding slack, you look down your sights, you focus on your front sight, and then you pull the trigger so slowly, so carefully, you can almost describe what it feels like. Is the trigger smooth? Is it gritty? Is it sandy? Is it smooshy? You should be so intimately pulling it, you should know how it feels like. And then you break it very slow, very careful. Once it's broken, the gun's gonna cycle. Once it cycles, you wanna hold the trigger to the rear. That's called a follow through. If you pull and let go too quickly, you'll throw your shot. Stuff is happening, the gun's cycling, the bullet's flying, things are happening, so don't jerk your finger off. So right when you take up slack, hold slack, and you're on the wall, break the wall very slow, very controlled, gun's gonna fire. Once it fires, keep the trigger back. That's called follow through. And after the gun resets, you can bring the finger forward to reacquire the slack, and you do the process over. If you pull the trigger with slack, it's a good chance you'll throw your shot. It's a small device in your hand, and any movement can really mess up your accuracy. So if I'm here and I just slap, that's known as slapping the trigger, you'll throw your shot. So take up slack, hold slack, pause on the wall, line your sights up. Slow, steady press. Also, my unique way I touch the trigger. Most people most training departments teach you to use your precision pad, which is the point between your finger and the first crease. They call that the precision pad. They say that that's best for shooting these type of guns. I'm going to bend your brains here. I'm going to bend your toolbox. I'm going to put something in your toolbox, and I disagree. I think the precision pad is designed for a match grade rifle. It's designed for a very precision trigger that's just like 2 or 3 pounds, a cocked revolver maybe, but these are 5-pound triggers. Some of them are even more. Here's a 226. This is a double action trigger. It's an 11-pound trigger, about. This is also a double action. So when you're using the precision pad, and as you've been taught, using the precision pad, there's space here, and you're trying to pull the trigger. You have to bring the finger out, and then bring the finger in. It's awkward. It really is. The best way to pull this trigger, I personally hook it. I hook the trigger. Everyone I taught this technique to has improved their shooting dramatically. I know I'm bending your brain here. I encourage you to try it. Make sure your gun is unloaded, clear and safe, and try several iterations with the precision pad, which is this way, where there's space here, and you're using that pad. That's the precision pad. Do several iterations of that, and then bury the finger. I'm not advocating to change your grip. Don't change your grip. Guns and hands come in different sizes. I have large hands. Females or other individuals might have smaller hands. There's bigger guys that might have larger hands. So guns and hands come in different sizes. There's not one solution that fits all. For example, check out this small pistol. If I did the precision pad here, look how awkward that is. It requires a lot of pressure and a matter of leverage. The less finger I have, the more I have to pull it. Most people will say if you use too much finger, you're going to pull the gun, and too little, you'll push the gun left. I'm going to bend your brain here. You can still push or pull the trigger with the precision pad. You can still apply pressure left or right. So it's a matter of pulling the trigger straight backwards. Even when you hook it, you can still hook it like I did and bring the trigger straight backwards. It's a skill. Be mindful of it. Even with the pad, I even feel you might pull or push it with the pad more than with the power crease. But if you get to the first crease, you sink your finger in there. And there's no space here. Advocate for no space. Don't change your grip. Just wherever this naturally falls, and naturally hook it. You'll realize that you have a lot more strength, a lot more leverage and dexterity, and you can pull the trigger a lot slower with a lot more control. And still be mindful to bring the trigger straight backwards. But that's the trigger. That's different stages of the trigger. Whenever you're taking your shot, take up slack, hold slack. As you're holding slack, focus on your front sight. Back sight's blurry, target's blurry, front sight's crystal clear. Both eyes open, but focus out of one of your dominant eye. We'll talk about that in another video. And slow, steady press. Now that it's fired, it's going to cycle. It's going to come back and down, reset. There's a lot of ways to reset this trigger. Some will say, don't put the finger out any more than you have to until it clicks. That way you're not wasting motion forward, and you don't have to take up more motion, it's less motion. Really, just cycle the trigger. You can't be fast and run targets quickly if you're really slow. You can't acquire it fast. I advocate drive the finger out, drive it back in, pause on the wall. This is what I do. Watch. I've reset. I've drive it out and back in, and I paused. Watch. Reset. Drive it out and drive it back in. Watch. Reset. Just be fast with it, know your trigger, know where the wall is. It will require a lot of time for you to get used to it. But that's my trick and tip. That's where I touch the trigger, I hook it, I use what we know as a power crease. Let me know what you guys think. That's our premier tips and tricks today. If you found this information useful, or you know someone that can benefit from it, please like and share. It helps the channel grow. And between now and then, take it with you.